Started horizontal.
That's going in somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, just let me know when you start and we're good.
I already started filming.
Alright, what's up? It's Thor CB. You know how it goes. And it's been a good minute, but we got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. So this past weekend, at the very end of September, we had the Minneapolis regionals on September 30th. I did participate in the regionals for my ultimate victory. It came out of the Winnemat tournament. And haters may say, well, you entered the Winnemat tournament, but you were in the main event. Like, what's that all about? And it's like, you know what? 200 people were in the main event, and only like 16 or 32 of them got a playmat. And you know what? I wasn't one of those, but I was one of 2 people that got the Winnemat for going undefeated in the Winnemat tournament. So goddamn. And you know what? The cherry on top? There's the playmat in my packs for entering the tournament. Got a Revolution Synchron $40 card. $40 card. So you know what? That alone makes me a winner. That alone makes me a winner. But here we go. You know me. I play SUBTERROR. Rogue option, kind of unknown at some points, but I will roll with this deck until the end of my life, and it has brought me nothing but joy and success and everything in between. So here we go with the ratios. So we got 3, SUBTERROR Guru. Main key points of your deck, kind of a boss monster in a sense, but also is your main point of accumulating advantage and being a Book of Mood. So, most people when they have their boss monster, it's just like negate your shit, maybe attack for a bunch of damage, whatever. But the physical action, of flipping Guru up and down for its effect is just very tactile. It's very satisfying. And that alone is enough of a reason for me to keep playing SUBTERROR. Next up we got 3 SUBTERROR Fiendus. That goes along with SUBTERROR Guru as one of its search targets. It is also your Omni Negate that you discard from the hand to negate a monster effect, spell effect, or a trap effect. Very, very nice. 3 Dimension Shifter. You get that on turn 1. Discard it the moment your opponent starts to play. And any card they play has to be banished if it is instead trying to be sent to the graveyard or anything like that. Shuts down a lot of decks right now. Has for the past couple of years. I stand by Dimension Shifter as a very strong option. Then you got 2 copies of Ash Blossom, a essential hand trap, probably one of the most consistent cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the past 5 years, if not longer, and is also a target for a card that will be shown later on. Then we got 1 copy of SUBTERROR Nemesis Archer. That is my additional SUBTERROR name. So it keeps Fiendus online, and if it is destroyed by either card effect or battle, it can special summon a SUBTERROR from my deck, which just gives me another opportunity to get SUBTERROR Guru. So hell yeah, never will cut that card. And got my copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician to go with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, the card that is kind of an end-all be-all in a lot of senses, but we got those nice quarter-century secret rares, the extra foil.
It's like plaid.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then moving on to the spells. We got 3, the Hidden City. That is the SUBTERROR field spell. It searches you a SUBTERROR monster. You can flip a SUBTERROR monster face up, and can provide battle protection in the right situation. Excellent card, beautiful card. The epitome of what a field spell should be. Then we got 3 Red Eyes Fusion, which summons you your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and its summoning condition means if you use it, you cannot normal or special summon the turn that you activate that card. SUBTERROR Guru gets set. That is not a normal summon. That is not a special summon. It gets set. And then you use Hidden City to flip it face up, and you can set up a very, very formidable board. 2 copies of Chrono Prosperity. Very hot card, very desirable card. Lets you dig 6 cards deeper into your deck for any pieces that you may need. And especially in a deck like this, sometimes you gotta dig, and it's always worthwhile. And then like I said, with Ash Blossom, not only is it a good card, it's being used for a specific target for a card. We got 2 copies of Crossout Designator. Very, very helpful card. I hadn't considered running it until this Winnemat tournament, but basically, you activate it, you declare a card name, you banish a card from your deck, and for the rest of this turn, any card with that name is negated. So Ash Blossom sucks against this deck, as well as a number of other cards, and Crossset Designator helps as a form of insulation and just opens up a lot of options for you. Got one copy of Terraforming, got the Quarter Century Secret Rare to search out any copies of Hidden City. And for some extra field spell searchers, set rotation, as well as a copy of Necro Valley.
Get your own drink.
Since you need a different field spell for set rotation to be live, I fuck with that. Got Called by the Grave, limited to one copy, but basically acts in a similar way to Crossset Designator. If an opponent tries to discard something, or there's something in their grave that you need to negate, you activate that, you stop it fair and square. Then we got one copy of Triple Tactics Thrust, killer card. I understand why it's really, really hyped right now. If your opponent activates a card effect on your turn, you can search a spell or trap card, just a normal spell and trap card, either to your hand or set to the field, depending on the circumstances. And anything that is a normal trap or a normal spell in this deck can practically end the game. So, excellent card. And then Triple Tactics Talent, which just about has the same conditions to activate, but the draw true is nice, the hand rip is nice, and even the take control is really nice, and it acts as a cross-out designator target, or a cross-out designator target too, because if somebody tries to steal your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with talents, you can use designator to negate it, and that is super, super helpful. Then moving on to the traps, we got 3 copies of There Can Be Only One. This card has been a mainstay in this deck for a very long time because all of the Subterror monsters are a different type, and this card restricts you to one of each type, so it doesn't stop your gameplay at all, but it stops a lot of the things that count as being top tier in this current format. Then we got, as the second floodgate, we got 3 copies of Summon Limit. Basically, you and your opponent can only summon twice per turn, but once again, Subterror never summons more than twice per turn, basically. And a lot of the times, your opponent will try to be summoning twice per turn or more. So, very helpful. I switched that out from Dimension Barrier, which I'd been running for a while, and I think it was the right choice to switch to this for the current format. Then we got 3 copies of Solemn Strike. Basically, monster negation at the cost of 1,500 life points. Who cares about the 1,500 life points? You stop a lot of very important things, as well as special summons. I thought that was a very solid choice to put it through. Then we got 2 copies of Subterror Final Battle. You can also search that off of Guru. It's the thing that flips them face down, flips them face up, beefs up their attack and defense points, or stops your Subterrors from being negated for a turn, and it resets itself. Very, very helpful card. I love it, and I think it's just a very creative card to have in the game. Then, as 2 one-ofs, as well as being cross-out designated targets, you got Infinite Impermanence. It's basically a monster negation or a spell and trap if it was set and something is activated in the same column. And 1 copy of Evenly Matched, which hurts a ton against this deck if it tries to resolve, but is also very helpful to have even if you are the one playing it, obviously. So, Evenly Matched rules, that's a one-of. And then moving on to these extra deck, we got Link Monsters in Relinquished Anima to be used off of Subterror Fiendus. We got Nightmare Phoenix if I need to destroy like an anti-spell fragrance or anything that's stopping me from facilitating my plays. And a Link Karibo in case I just need to protect myself because my hand really sucked. Then 2 copies of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. That card fucking rules. People are really not prepared for it in the current format, and if I activate Red Eyes Fusion, they get a look on their face like, damn, it's over. And usually it is. And then the rest of the cards don't really matter too much, because basically it's a bunch of super poly targets, and not once over the course of the day did I actually draw a super polymerization, so literally none of these fucking mattered. Just extra cards in there, doesn't matter. Moving on to the side deck.
Holy shit.
We got 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird in case Dimension Shifter is not the choice, and is also once again a very solid cross-out target because Droll does kind of hurt Subterror a tiny bit. Then we got 3 copies of Super Poly, which, like I said, I never saw it once all day, so I guess I can't really say anything about it. 3 copies of Heatwave. Shout out Heatwave. Activate at the beginning of your main phase 1 until the end of your opponent's turn. No one can normal or special summon an effect monster. And once again, like I was saying with Red Eyes Fusion earlier, I set monsters. I don't normal summon or special summon monsters with the exception of Dark Dragoon. So this is a very easy way to basically turn your turn 1 into somewhat of a turn skip, and then you just accumulate more damage. I kind of love it. It's a little goofy, but I love it. We got 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. It's at 1. Clear your opponent's spell and traps. Excellent card as always. Then 2 additional copies of Evenly Matched, because we got the 1 in the main deck. And then if I ever am going second, I can side in the other 2 and just have more ways to get to it. And then 2 copies of Solemn Judgment. We got the Ghost Rare, super pretty. I used to main this card a ton, but I find that in the current day and age, monster effect negation is a lot more important than something that negates, let's say, a normalcy. So that's much better to use if I know I'm going first and it's like a game 2 and I need to shut out the game. And then for the final spot in the side deck, got a copy of Anti-Spell Fragrance. That doubles as a crossout target, but also if I'm going first and I draw that in my opening hand, not too bad. I can't really complain too much. So that rounds out the main deck, extra deck, side deck. And then to go over matchups, we played against a couple of Tearlaments, and Tearlaments is kind of interesting. I understand why it's doing well right now, but somebody tried to use Eradicator Epidemic Virus against me, and part of that card's effect is you declare a card type, and then you reveal your hand, and they basically destroy everything of that type from your hand. They saw me in game 1 using a deck that has a bunch of traps, and so they called traps, to which I revealed a hand that was basically all power spells that won me the game that turn. So I was like, ha, joke's on you, I'm moving on to the finals. And then in the finals, I came up against Wanderers, really nice guy, shout out to him, but 2-0'd him. I love that deck, but this deck is better. I don't know what to say. And gave him a nice handshake, went over, got my mat, and left a happy camper. What can I say? Undefeated, win a mat. I will take that any day of the week. SUBTERROR, love of my life. Shout out to all the homies. Shout out to Dreamers Vault Minneapolis. Shout out to my brother.
Shout out to Amish.
Damn right.
Yay!
And shout out to the world. I don't fucking know.
Shout out to the Tiki Bar.
Shout out the Tiki Bar for presenting all this.
Shout out Island Time.
Shout out J.
Shout out to
Kel's
Drain
house.
Gang. Shout out to Drain Gang. SUBTERROR happens underground. That's about as drain as it gets. So I wore that hoodie all tournament, and it came through. So what can I say? This has been Thor CB. SUBTERROR first place win a mat tournament, Minneapolis regional, Duelist Nexus format. Signing out.